What's happening? How you doing? Welcome to TLCNaptown.com, and I have the very lovely Indianapolis native Moya Angela. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
You know something? I gotta say this because when I read over the information, I went, I seen her before. North Central grad.
Absolutely.
And tell me a little bit, because it's kind of an unusual story. I mean, you've been a performer and everything.
Yes.
But when they called you, you had an interesting job. Tell us about that job.
I did. I actually worked at the Peddler's Mall on West 38th Street.
Right.
And I was like literally selling socks to people in the back in the flea market.
Right.
And just the cashier for the overall place. And just out of the blue, on a phone number that nobody really had, they called me and asked me to fly to New York and audition for Effie White. So it was, I didn't even know how they got my number. Right. I don't even know, but that's what I was doing at the time. And now I'm playing it every night.
Well, and I'm going to say it like this because I'm a spiritual brother.
Mm-hmm.
I know how you got that number.
Absolutely. I know, too.
It's your
We
time.
all know the
It's your
truth.
time.
Exactly.
How has the experience been? I mean, because I know you went back and forth, and then they called you and let you know finally you got the part. How has that experience been?
It has been surreal. Sometimes it's a little surreal. Sometimes I'm on stage and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm really doing this, especially because we opened at the Apollo, and that stage has been graced by the greatest.
Right. And
so it's a little surreal, but then, you know, it's like you said, it's my time. So it's my time to get on the stage and show everybody why I'm in this role. But it's been an awesome journey, and I've been so blessed all year.
Now I got to ask this because you know you're playing that role that was started, of course, by Jennifer Holliday, and then Jennifer Hudson with the movie, and now you're in that role during that. Is that intimidating, or how does that make you feel? Because I mean, those are some big boots to fill.
Yes, it's actually really, really inspiring. Honestly, I've met both of the ladies. I met Jennifer Holliday at the opening in LA, and I met Jennifer Hudson right when we were doing the rehearsal process. But it is inspiring for me to know how awesome they are, and to know I have to fill those shoes to come and represent for them. So it's not intimidating, because you can't be Effie White and be intimidated. You got to go for it. It's a gutsy role,
and it's such a versatile role. I mean, you go from this young lady who's got to run things to you go through so many different emotions. Talk about that a little bit.
It's actually an actor's dream, because from the beginning to the end of the show, you get to play, you be dramatic, you get to be comedic, you get to be young, and then by the end you've grown into something different. It's a crazy journey for 2 hours and 40 minutes. But it's great to know that one scene I have to come smiling, pretty and graceful, and the next scene I'm evil and mean and mad and angry. So it's really challenging, but it's fun to do every night, because you just never know. And
I got to say this because Indianapolis native, North Central High School graduate, and there are a lot of folks that are looking at this and they want to be where you are. Remember, she was working selling socks at the Peddler's Mall. Okay, so the question is this: how do they stick with their dream?
You have to go for it. You have to be consistent, and you have to keep practicing your craft and keep perfecting it, and never get to the point where you think you've arrived. And just let things happen for you. I'm a Christian woman, and I let go and let God. That's how I do it. So, that works for me, whatever anyone believes in. But at the same time, you just have to keep trying. There is a moment when everybody gets that break, no matter what it is. But you have to keep going for it and know that it is for you. Well, the break is happening 2nd through the 7th at the Mira, Dreamgirls. If you don't have your tickets, get your tickets. If you don't have the details, right here at TLCNaptown.com. Moya, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.